Alright, good morning, Ms. Parno. Alright, this is my project. Basically, what it does is it's a quotation engine. So it generates motor vehicle quotations for customer service agents that are working with clients. And for intern, we have a company and it's an internal system that they would use. So basically, this is what I'm showing you now is the database where information that they're going to be using in the web application will be passing the information to. Alright, the name of it is broker engine, consists of the tables client info, login, and motor quote. So client information basically stores the client's information that they've entered. Login stores their login information, and motor quote stores the vehicle information. So here we see client info, have the ID, full name, the age of the customer entered, their occupation, driver's license, how long they've had it, the driver's license type, and then email, just in case they have an email. Basically, that's the columns, and that's the table, and that's the columns in there. Next, we have login, which basically we just have user ID, username, and password. Just 3 columns here from this table. Moving on to the motor quote, we see here where I have a quotation ID, customer ID. This links back to the customer that we have in the customer table, the motor vehicle make, the model, vehicle value, how many years they've gone without an accident, and finally their premium in the other column right there. So that's basically it right here for our motor quotation screen. Now we're going to be moving on. Now, first page we're going to check out in the web application is basically our index. So going to our index page is index BQE, and basically we've started. There's a little error generation right there saying the session is already in progress. Alright, we'll ignore that for the time being and proceed to, well, what happens with this error is that I was trying to generate a session just because, well, start and use sessions to continue through didn't work out. What I just did was to enter the username SA and the password. This allows the user to enter, and it brings us straight to our customer information screen. Alright, I'll go back to index.bqe and show you what happens when I enter a wrong credential. It brings me back to a fresh user login, because there's an error that generates, well, it generates a little message that says incorrect username, please enter valid, but that clears and then just brings up the screen instantly. It doesn't pause, so it continues and keeps us on the screen until a correct username and password entered. I experienced a little glitch right here, to be honest, so I'll just manually move on to the regular index page and then go again, and here we go now. Yeah, brings us straight to our customer information screen. So now let's say we're going to enter our customer information. Alright, first we have full name, next we have date of birth, occupation, type of driver's license, and the age of their driver's license. So proceeding on now, let's say we're entering John Brown, his date of birth. Hold on, let me just enter this manually instead of, hold on, yeah. May 1st, occupation, mechanic. So we just put in his date of birth, that is on May 1st, 2015, and also the fact where his license is also May 1st, 2015. And if we know, proceed to click submit, populates and tell us this person is not of legal age for insurance coverage. The other outputs at the end is just basically I was testing the strings for the age just to see how it works. So let's proceed again, just putting his age. Let's begin something valid this time. I think I will go ahead and type it instead of searching back because it will take a little while. So I'll just manually insert January 1st, 1988, and his occupation still mechanic, general title license, and let's select that. Alright, Great. It accepts this, or it accepts this information and prompts us straight to our quotation screen. This is, as you can see by the top, it pulls over his name and ID, and now we're gonna just put in some vehicle information to generate a code for him. Alright, Accord, it's an Honda Accord. The value of this is about, let's say 1 million. And the usual accident, let's move that to 5. You get 5 years without an accident. Submit. Great. You see, this is a young driver because his license was indeed young, and that premium is generated for him. And this information will be passed to our database. However, I am experiencing an SQL error. I'm trying to troubleshoot this error, but it's in French, and I'm unable to, yeah. We've been checking out for a while with a few of them, and I'm not sure how to get around this one. But this information was accepted, and it generated a quotation. So you see the value of the code right there. However, it did not pass the information into the SQL error, it didn't pass it to the database. That's the one flaw I was experiencing on the screen here. Alright, from here now, I'm going to manually browse. Oh, just to note, the cancel buttons, the function and the cancel buttons, I didn't need to execute those. So if you press the cancel button, nothing would happen. So what I'm going to do is manually browse to each of these files here to let you see the different functionalities and how they operate. We're going to go is customer add. What this allows is just for us to only add a customer, because there are cases where we just need to add a customer but not yet put in the information just to have some diversity in the system. So we just put in Jenny Brown, and it tells us various fields have need to be updated, such as DOB, occupation, type, and DLH. So there's some validation going on here to show you that information is missing and the form cannot be submitted until it has been properly filled in. So she's a cosmetologist, spell that around, and just, yeah. And general type of license again. And her driver's license age. Let's put it back a bit. Let me just manually insert it so you see how far back it can go. Alright, submit. Okay, hold on. Oh, there is a sleep delay I have on this, 5 seconds when I press the submit button. So shortly, hold on, you're gonna see it go back to the main screen here. As you can see, if I go to client information, she's been inserted. Apologies, I clicked on the submit button 3 times, that's why. So hence resulting her data being submitted 3 times, generating different IDs. So Jenny Brown has been submitted and her information is there. If we go back now, we'll see where the screen has been sent back to the main screen. Well, not the main screen, but the index screen. Should have had different functionalities, but was unable to execute that at the moment. So that's basically it right there for that screen. Moving on to the other, hold on a second. I'll just bring up Dreamweaver. Other screen I'm looking at, quotation only. Alright, quote only. As you see, we're able to select various persons that are in the system already. So I can choose and say, hey, I want to do a quote for a customer already exists. You know, John Brown, Jenny Brown, and you see all the records that we just added as well. So the vehicle make, let's say for John Brown, it's a Toyota Camry. Let's go to Camry, value, let's give it about 2.5. Alright, an usual accident, let's go with 2 years. Had 2 years without an accident. Submit. And it tells you, it tells you he's a young driver as before. Didn't execute the quotation, not sure why. But again, we get the same French error that is withholding the information from going to the database, unfortunately. Final screen we look at here is the general quote display, which shows all quotations that have been inserted into the database. There were records that were priorly added before the quote calculation. Yeah, so these records are added prior to the quote calculation. This happened that error that I can't seem to get rid of. I'm going to be showing you the code at this point in time. First, we're starting off with index BQE, which is broker quotation engine for short. Alright, basically I have a require function from various other PHP screens that have been created, such as core.php. Let's look at that one first. So including the functions and functionalities of these screens in my index page, which was the main idea at first. Alright, so so basically I have here where I'm using it to start my session and continue. That was the aim of core.php, to require it in my file as well. Next I have connection.php, which basically this screen is used for connecting my database. So I'm just going to include it. I don't have to really write the database function, so that's basically connecting to my database. So all I have to do is on main screen is execute queries and such. Alright now. And the other screen is requires login form, because the main purpose I had is basically to have require functions draw various pages in and then act on it. So once it pull the information from those screens, then I have basic if statements to check if valid or continue to run and process through, basically having a clean index file, but didn't work out that way. Here we see how I validate for the username and password, accepts the values here with post, and then as it continues down, checks if it's empty, and then it compares what you've entered to what has been what is in the database, or what is extracted from a database. So I fetch with my SQLi fetch associated function, and then compares that and see if it is successful. It sends you to the location customer info. Otherwise, from that it prompts you to try again, and another one here that displays the SQL error. Basically like that. Moving on to the next screen, I have here check out the data ready. Customer info. Alright, now customer info basically a screen that you're prompted to after you enter the database. And moving through the form tables, go straight to the PHP code. Alright, basically I have a calculation here for age using the string to time function, strto time function. Basically gets the age 75 years ago, 18 years ago, 30 years ago, and puts that in. That's what helps me to know when comparing it to what the user's input to say, hey, this is in this criteria, so he's good to go, or it's over this amount, so you can't do any insurance for him, or you can't get a quotation, stuff like that. Moving along from here now, we basically move down. You're seeing user input there, DOB from post, and then the DL page next. Alright, now we have our if statements that basically calculate out. 1 minute. Basically passing information from our form come down, and then we have our SQL queries. Inserting into pretty straightforward, and another one that basically is highlighting it into one record from the table. Alright, moving down. What we see here basically telling us if the user is of legal age for insurance or not. So when you see that error that says he's too old or too young, or is a young driver, well, not young driver, from here you see basically what's what. It tells you if the person is too old, if they're too young, and that's basically what we're doing here, just the age validation. And moving down here, we see the location quote.php. So if everything is okay and checks out alright, we move you to the quote.php using the header function. And otherwise, from that, now we move along. We see what happens with our SQL error, and if did not, it tells you if you can't write to the database, and down there now basically hitting cancel leaves you back to the main screen index at Q